What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. We are starting in a brand new year. It is now 2018. Thank you guys for sticking with the channel. And I know I kind of skipped over Halloween Horror Nights 27. Doing so, I've wanted to process Halloween Horror Nights a little different in the channel. Periodically, there will be a review for Halloween Horror Nights 27, but it will basically be broken down. So I'm going to be doing houses and zones separately. So each one will be a separate review coming to the channel. A lot of you guys out there, you watch the channel, you love to probably comment, you love to give your thoughts about some of the houses and the zones. So do so by following me over at Twitter or Instagram at ZombieCT, either one. And I'm going to be doing future posts letting you guys know what review I will be doing in the coming week or so. And so that way you can go ahead and send me your video response or your audio response if you don't want to be featured in the review as well. What I do ask is that 3 minutes at the maximum, 2 minutes is the sweet spot if you can get it there. But without further ado, what we are going to be starting off with is Hive. Now, my pre-thoughts is when they first announced this, I got really excited. I thought it was going to be kind of in the vein of Van 55, and it was going to maybe take place in the 70s or 80s, and whether it was going to be the music or the fashion of that era, that year, I thought they're going to do a slam dunk with this. Especially, I want to see 80s vampires, you know, like the Lost Boys, Fright Night, that type of stuff I thought would have been really, really cool, but I was thrown for a loop when I first discovered what this was going to be. Now on to the pros for Hive. The design overall of the vampires I felt was particularly good. They looked very good, they were scary. They did do this really cool trick where there was kind of this UV light and some of the vampires in some of the scenes had contacts and it would light up and you would see their eyes glowing. And the house design was quite simple, but it was cool. It felt like a decrepit old house that you just kind of wandered into at times. At least for most of the house, it felt that way. The cons for a Hive was that the overall design was a little too simplistic, and the designs of the vampires were all pretty much the same, and you didn't gather the story. You just knew from the premise that you were going into an old house that was overrun with these vampires, and that was pretty much what you got. And before I forget to mention, the facade for this, I'm not sure if the storm that we had caused any damage or that was their original idea or whatnot, but the facade was just kind of lame. Overall, the Hive, like I said, it was just a basic house, basic scares, nothing really that stood out other than like the UV light and the contacts. The vampires were scary, but overall the simplistic of the design kind of made the house just kind of boring to me. Ooh, scare-wise, I'd probably say it was like a 7. And design-wise, I'd give it like a 4. I'm gonna give it like a 6. I think a 6 out of 10 is basic. That is it for my review part. We're gonna go to Connor's review of the Hive.
What's up, Zombie Chris's channel? Chris asked me to give some thoughts on Hive, the HHN 27 house. I'm currently taking a walk. It's super nice out, so I figured I might as well sit down and do the video here. So my pre-thoughts, like before the event, I was moderately excited for it. I wasn't super excited for it because overall it was kind of a generic idea. We know that supposedly this is supposed to be a different property and they had to rush to get like a new thing, and it came out as a kind of generic idea. Damn! However, it may have been on such a short notice, I guess you could say. I think they actually did a pretty good job with it. The glowing eyes were cool, of course. The house, I don't know, it was dark, very, very, very dark, which is another con, like very difficult to see. But I think the scare at the very end with the big stilt vampire was one of the best, as this guy's running behind me. I don't know if he knows what I'm doing. I think it was one of the best scares in any house. It wasn't like super scary, but it was really, really cool. The facade was really lazy too. I mean, it looked like an album cover to me. One of the other big pros for me was one of the runs we had, one of the characters kind of went the extra mile, like jumped out, but then did this weird like bend thingy and came up and scared us. I don't really know how to describe it, but I think the cast was good. It's just that the idea was a little generic. So yeah, I would say it's a solid house. And again, if I had the opportunity to ever do it again for whatever reason, I would have no problem with it.
What is your thoughts about the Hive? Leave it down in the description box. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next review for Halloween Horror Nights 27. Hopefully you have a great day, good afternoon, good night, good morning whenever you're watching this. Zombie Chris is out.